The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code Cimoooooooo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Oh, I'm so excited. If there is an episode that RJ and I have been looking forward to, it is this one, Battle Pack Epic Dawn. If you are unfamiliar with this set was made specifically with draft/sealed play in mind. So the power level of this set is probably going to far exceed anything we've ever done on this show before. Robert and I are going to be coming into this episode with competent playable decks, although some of the cards you might see might be a bit sus. I can't wait. This is some of the most fun that Joseph and I have had filming, and I imagine RJ and I, it's going to be similar. So we have 30 packs of Battle Pack Epic Dawn to crack. Let's get into it. And as you can already see, already starting off strong with a number 17 Leviathan Dragon. This is one of the few Xyz monsters that's actually in the set. And so the fact that we have this means that all of our threes potentially can funnel into this. And this is a very strong card. Ape Fighter is also a potentially very strong contender as well, coming in at 1900, constantly getting bigger. There's some fun shenanigans with some of the other cards in here as well. And the Xyz keep continuing, and this pack is actually just cracked. So not only do we get a Tyrus Keeper of Genesis if we can go and manage to get any sort of rank 5 synergy, but Ring of Destruction is probably one of the best removal cards in the entire set, and Offerings to the Doom may be sus, but the fact you have unconditional removal that basically makes you skip a draw phase, that's perfectly fine, because if we need removal, this is one of the best cards we could ask for.
Galactic Overlord sure was a pack. We really went from the sublime to the ridiculous and right back again, because it is time for one of the greatest sealed sets of all time, Battle Pack Epic Dawn. Helps that this one was made for sealed, and I cannot wait to dig in. It's got some unbelievable stuff in it. Pack number 1. Swords of Revealing Light is not bad. Neither is Night Assailant or Zombira the Dark. As far as like the solid basics of the set, these are good ones to start with. Next pack, Scapegoat is all right. It's a good defensive card. I don't think we have anything that can really take advantage of it. The set doesn't come with things like Synchros or Metamorphosis. Offerings to the Doomed, though, Prideful Roar is a really good one, as is Breaker.
Oh my god, we're getting bomb after bomb. Premature Burial has to be one of the best individual spells in the entire set. Damage Gate's not a terrible card. Grave Squirmer is just removal. Dark World Shackles is like kind of removal. It's like a paralyzing potion, but just better in every single way. And then Freed the Matchless General, Robert's favorite card. Blastsphere's pretty sick because that is also removal. Dark Ruler Hades is like a nice tribute monster that we could summon. Divine Wrath is kind of neat because it's an actual effect negation counter trap, and while it does cost a card, it also removes the monster too. So it's a 2-for-1, but not a terrible one.
These are actually probably the two I've gotten so far that I am most excited about. Breaker and Prideful Roar. Not bad. Not the DM staples that this set is known for, though. Adrius in the rare slot. Interesting. Inverse Universe is also a really solid damage step trick, especially because it helps us with defenders as well as attackers. Ryza the Storm Monarch and Book of Moon. Those are really good. Ryza is a hell of a payoff. If we get a Monarch strat to work with, I will be very happy.
That's sick. Doom Caliber Knight is a fantastic card to have as well. King Tiger Wanghu's not bad if we want to play a sort of like stun-ish type deck. And Battle Fader's pretty good just to make sure we don't die. Call of the Haunted to go with our Premature Burial, and Prideful Roar, one of the best battle tricks in the entire set because it beats every other battle trick. Blast with Chain's also nice. Like, equip cards are kind of okay in a set like this, as we've seen in like other Sealed Showdown episodes. This set set is no exception. And Elector, Sovereign of Birds. I actually played this, I think, against Joseph, and this card wasn't that worst. Solemn Judgment. Oh my god. We're just getting all the crazy rares in this set. Milla's not terrible. Big Shield Garden is kind of funny. And another Blast Sphere for removal. Green Kappa also isn't terrible either because it's like a multi-MST, which is kind of sick. I say multi-MST, like Twin Twister doesn't exist. It doesn't cost you 2 cards though, so it pops 2 spells and traps. That's all you need to know.
Dark Dust Spirit, okay. Ask and you shall receive when it comes to Monarch strats. White Goat is also really solid, as is Raikou, as just a generally good card. Next pack, this is not as inspiring a pack. I suppose Luster Dragon and Battle Fader are not terrible. Okay, Backup Warrior's pretty solid. It's a free special summon if we have 2 defense position monsters, which is really easy given that we've got Scapegoat and Tegnostier. Next pack, Ring of Destruction. There is one of those DM staples and one of the better ones for this set in particular. Alongside Prideful Roar, our damage step play is going to be really, really good, which is honestly what you want in a set like this. The ability to control tempo is the ability to control the game. Heavy
Storm! What are these rares? I'm getting like every good rare in the whole set. Kunai with Chain, Ego Boost. Oh my god. And a second Premature Burial. Robert's so fucked. It's so over. Oh my god. Axe of Despair, Kunai with Chain. Penguin Soldier's also not a bad one either. It's weird because like bouncing stuff back to the hand isn't as good in this set unless it's like specifically an Xyz or a Tribute, but it's good because it sets them back on tempo, and that's very important in Sealed. Harpies! And Adrius, what is this? This is insane.
Graceful Charity. There's another solid one, and a Cyber Dragon. Goblin Attack Force is also pretty good as just a way to clear guys, but Cyber Dragon and Graceful Charity are unbelievably strong. Let's see if we can get a couple more of these draw spells, because even though those power cards like Ring of Destruction are great, the draw spells are really what are going to make the difference in this set. Next pack, a Premature Burial and Swords of Revealing Light. Can't believe Premat is a common in this set, especially given how easy it is for us to get cards onto the board. I'm definitely going to be looking into how we can abuse this card. Another Scapegoat, interesting. We're really getting a lot of incentive to get defensive tokens on the board. I wonder what we can do with that.
Another Doomcow's nice. Different dimension gates like removal, I guess. I guess the one issue is that like our monsters are a little bit lackluster, and the other problem is like if we want to make Tyrus and Adrius, we don't really have, unless I've missed them, we don't have many good level 5, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. Magic Cylinder is a very good card. It just negates an attack and does damage. It's basically Ring of Destruction, so like that's fine by me. Voltic Kong is not terrible either. Cyber Valley is also okay.
Metal Reflect Slime. A solid defender. Ape Fighter is actually a card we shouldn't overlook. If it can get in once, it contests Cyber Dragon. A Soul Exchange. Okay, I did talk about a Monarch strat, and Soul Exchange is one of the key parts of that. DD Assailant is also just a good card from the era of GOAT format. Forbidden Chalice will also help us once again own the damage step. There we go, Pot of Greed. This is what I'm talking about. We also got another Backup Warrior and another White Goat, which are both really, really good for the strat that we're working on. Axe of Despair could also be interesting. I'll be thinking about that one. I don't remember if we have Megamorph in this set, but that would be the equip spell I'd be looking for.
Ryza, baby, let's go. Oh my god, it's over, Robert. It is over. This is a pretty sick pack. Pot of Duality is a great rare. Soul Exchange is good, especially if we have like a decent number of tributes, which there is a decent amount of removal, but it is just good to stick a big guy, as we know from just past Sealed episodes. Archering Soldiers to 1900, and honestly, that's kind of good enough in some cases. And Stone Soldier's a 2K defender. I don't know how good this is going to be. We'll have to look at like everything in totality. But I mean, honestly, our polls have been fantastic, and we're just about at the halfway point.
Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. If I needed a boss monster, this is the one to go for. Gores is so spectacularly good, as is Fighting Spirit, and Bazoo is not bad either. Next pack. Oh, this is a pack and a half. Another Fighting Spirit, a Vampire Lord, Ryza, and Mirror Force. Our Monarchs are off the hook right now. If we can continue to get draw spells and or copies of Soul Exchange, I am going to be so happy with this. Next, Leviathan Dragon. Sure, Slay Warrior and Mad Dog of Darkness also are potentially good depending on how well we can control the battle phase. Slay Warrior can get really, really big. There's a Krebens. That's pretty good for Monarchs. Again, unfortunately, we don't have access to Synchro monsters, but this card is really good nonetheless.
A second Ryza! Oh my god, we have all of our tributes now. That is insane. Dark Bribe's not bad either, and Xarian Universe is pretty good. Dark Magician of Chaos. Now, the thing with DMOC is we need a way to get this into the graveyard. We're not gonna like hard to tribute for DMOC. That's just like, you could do it, arguably, but it's like a huge investment of resources. This is pre-errata, though, so keep that in mind. So if we have a way to get this to the grave, we have Premat, we have Call the Haunted, we could bring this back, and oh my god, it's just going to get out of hand. So I will consider playing this, because DMOC's awesome.
A Mobius and a Utopia and a Go-Go-Go Golem and an MST. This is a cracked pack, so our Monarchs are really, really good. I am very happy with the position of our Monarchs right now. I would like to continue seeing that strat build. That's what I think we're going to be building around today. And there's a Caius. There is a Caius. So we have two Ryza, a Mobius, a Caius, and a Dark Dust Spirit. Kunai with Chain, again, great for the damage step. Not really sure what our low-level monster lineup is going to look like right now, but just having Monarchs in the tank is going to be so good. Injection Fairy Lily is an interesting one. She does hold field presence pretty nicely because even if you resolve her once, you will probably have the life points to resolve her again, which is good for keeping your opponent off monsters. She's also just great for a kill shot. I'm interested. Not one of the better rares of the set, but not one of the worst ones either.
Tragonia! Wow, that's a sick pull. Raiko and Card Trooper as well. Like, you can just see the cards in this set are nuts. I like how I just got two Dekoichis in the same pack. Not that I'm complaining, because Dekoichi's insane, but I'll take it. Creature Swap's a nice little rare. It depends on, like, what we're playing. We do have a lot of dinky things, potentially, and, like, there's some cool stuff we could do with it, like if we have, like, Raiko or Card Trooper, so that's fine. Asura Priest is okay. It kind of depends on what Robert's playing. And Makura being in here, I don't think there's a lot of gimmicks we can pull off with Makura, but I think it's worth looking into.
Another Caius. Okay, we are very, very strong on Monarchs. Cyber Valley is a good card for defensive things. Windstorm of Atakua will keep our monsters on the board, which is crucial in this set. Damage Gate is also not a terrible card. It gives you basically a Monster Reborn effect. If we have a monster worth hitting on that, you know, I might go for it. Divine Wrath is not the rare we want to be seeing. A second Cyber Valley is not bad. It does let us stall out, but we need things worth stalling out for. We don't have things like Raigeki or like Harpy's Feather Duster to be worth waiting out the draws that you get with Cyber Valley. Maybe there's something else in our future that will help out a little better. Another Premature Burial. Not bad. Compulsory Evacuation Device is also helpful, and Beast King Barbaros is interesting given the particular set that we're working with. I don't think our tokens are quite good enough for him, but he is a 1900-1200, which is a pretty good stat line nonetheless. He power creeps one of our vanilla 1900s, and that could be good enough.
Torrential is a sick rare. Oh my god. And Compulse and another Leviathan Dragon. Our level 3s actually are kind of okay, I think. It sucks because, like, the level 5s are, like, we have some crazy 5 payoffs, but I don't think we have many good 5s. But we have 11 packs left to go, and it just keeps getting better. That's our third Premature Burial. Are you fucking kidding me? Speaking of 5s, Air Knight Parshath is a good one, so I will consider playing this. And Dekoichi as well. That's 3 Dekoichis we have. That's insane.
United We Stand is another interesting one. We do have a large number of tokens, especially given this is our third white goat. This card could be good enough to take us over the top. A third Prideful Roar is also sick. Again, we basically own the damage step at this point. All right, we have 5 more packs. I would like to see a couple more power cards. If I get draw spells, I'll be happy with that. But if I could get one of the payoffs, Dark Hole, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, that will be the real cream of the crop. That will bring together our strategy beautifully. A Torrential Tribute is one of those cards, as is a Cyber Dragon, as is Battle Fader. I have a lot of material for our Monarchs now. I will happily take all of that. And there's a Snatch Steal, another Ryza, and another Breaker, and a Half or Nothing. All 4 of these cards are spectacularly strong. So we have power cards to look for now. We have a solid Monarch lineup. I'm very happy with what we're getting here.
Honestly, this is like the first pack I haven't really been taken aback by. Like, Machina Fortress is nuts, but we don't have enough machines to really make this worthwhile. Unless, like, I know I have Dekoichis, but I need to see if I have more than that. Because otherwise, like, this card isn't, like, that great. Dark Dust Spirit's, like, technically a board wipe, but again, it sets you back on tempo as well. So it has its issues. And then, like, Skilled White, Protops, like, they're fine. Changing Destiny's okay. I think just, like, we have, like, an above average pool. So I think it's really hard to justify by playing some of these, but we'll see. Second Card Trooper, I'm really happy to see that because we have Leviathan Dragons. Night Assailant's also a good level 3, and Zephyros the Elite, there's some cool stuff we can do with this because we have Pre-Mat. That can just get out of hand. Graceful Charity, oh my god, this deck is gonna be insane. And Fiendish Chain and Morphing Jar. Robert, it's over. Just pack it up now. Witch of the Black Forest. I can pull this card here, but I can't pull it in Progression Series, evidently. The rest of this pack, kind of meh. Like, Monster Gate kind of synergizes if we want to play, like, DMOC, but we're going to be playing so many monsters, I don't think it's worth it.
Last two packs, there are, again, still really incredible cards that we haven't seen, but we've also seen some pretty incredible cards ourselves. Let's see if we can put that little bit of polish on our deck with our last two packs, starting with the Ego Boost and Leviathan Dragon. I really like Guardian Sphinx as well. Guardian Sphinx is really solid because it is immune to Snatch Steal and is constant tempo. This card is also immune to Battle Tricks, which I really like. If you can set a Guardian Sphinx, there's very little your opponent can get around it with, and I really, really like that. Another Mobius, sure, why not? And another Guardian Sphinx. Okay, that is actually a monster we can play around if we want to.
Treeborn Frog's kind of sick if we play any, like, decent amount of tributes. We have the Ryzas, we have, like, the Dark Rulers, so, like, we could conceivably play this. It's also just something that keeps coming back to, like, wall up, but we're gonna have a decent amount of traps, I feel like, so we'll have to think about that. A second Graceful Charity! Oh my god! Third Card Trooper as well. This is insane.
Last pack. What can we get? Tragodia. Tragodia is not one of the best cards in this set, but it is a really good one for our deck exactly. We're going to want to maintain cards in our hand anyway, because we're looking for Monarchs, we're looking for our Snatch Steals, and Tragodia is really strong in a low-powered set. Dekoichi also gets us towards things like Snatch Steal and Soul Exchange. Our Monarch strategy is really solid here. We're missing out again on Harpy's Feather Duster, on Raigeki, but the cards that we got may be good enough to play without those. I'm interested in this one, folks. Let's get to deck building.
All right, you guys, only a few packs left of this. I think when Joseph and I played this in History of Yu-Gi-Oh, we played this draft, so we had to pick the cards that we were choosing in order to be able to build our deck. So the fact that we get to play this sealed and we don't have to choose, we're just going to build like one of the craziest decks ever seen. Second Solemn Judgment, sure, why not? I'm also... I'm not happy to see this. Cyber Dragon's a common in here, and this is the first one of these that we've seen. The saving grace is that in this set, like, the set number is gigantic. There's like 300 cards in this set, I think. So because of that, it's hard to like pull individual commons at times. So there is a likelihood that Robert doesn't have many copies of Sidra either. I just don't like to see that it's in here and we only have one copy. Let's get to our second to last pack. Zen Maester is a rank 4. I'm happy to see that because this is actually something we'll probably be able to generically make very often, and so that'll go in for sure. Skill Successor is not terrible. This is actually a series where this card is quite good. Miracle's Wake, I think I pulled one of these before. This card is basically a Monster Reborn as long as the monster was killed by battle, and like that's very likely to happen, so I might play this. Juroroid's pretty good for defense. Gravescormer's removal, so like that's fine. Let's see what we get in our last pack. I would like to see a second Sidra now that I know that Sidra's in here because I completely forgot. Third Ryza. Third Ryza, baby! Oh my god, it's over. Tricky's pretty good too because I don't know how many good rank 5 or level 5s we pulled, but that's one of the best ones just to be able to get into our rank 5 pull very easily. We're gonna have to see, but triple Ryza, triple Pre-Mat, double Graceful Charity, just scoop it up, Robert. It's over. Let's get to deck building.
I have been informed that I might be fucked. Alex sounded very happy about his pulls, and while I got some pretty good things on the top end, I don't mess with Alex's protagonist powers. And so the deck that I built plays the most to the advantages that I got. The thing that I got that I think could take me over the top is my 2 copies of Premature Burial combined with my big monster lineup. Gores is an incredibly powerful, aggressive monster. Double Caius is also good, although Ryza being a common might make that a little bit less of an exciting pull. And 1 Tragodia. These are some really powerful boss monsters that I can work with, that with premature burial means we can hold very large board presence very easily. We also got 3 copies of Prideful Roar, which is a deceptively powerful card because it guarantees that we always win battle. There are a lot of battle tricks that are cool, that have damage step implications, but this is the only one that makes it certain that you win. Combine that with the double Sidra that we got, a couple battle faders for defensive maneuvers that are pretty difficult to out, that are like a trap card that can't be hit by something like, I don't know, a Harpy's Feather Duster that he might have pulled, and I think that we can take this one today. Most of the rest of the deck is big monsters. Double Breaker is good with Fighting Spirit and is a way for us to guarantee that we can stick guys, and the side deck is for modulating the strategy, including Guardian Sphinx, which depending on Alex's lineup may just be a guaranteed way to make sure that we have tempo every single turn. Injection Fairy Lily is pretty good for closing out games, and some cards for some niche removal options. The only thing I'm really worried about is Snatch Steal. I don't have many outs to back row, especially when it comes to spell cards, so we're just gonna have to hope. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see what Alex is bringing today with his ungodly pulls.
I can't believe it. This has to be one of the craziest fucking decks I've ever built for like any sealed environment ever. Now, to be fair, the set we opened is pretty conducive to that, but even so, this is unbelievable how good this is. So let's do the card by card, ladies and gentlemen. We are basically playing, I want to call it like Machine Monarch. It's just like machine good stuff in all honesty. If we had like one more copy of Machina Fortress, I think this deck would just be even more absurd, but the fact that we only have one, I think is really like kind of limiting this. But just look at this. We have triple Ryza, we have double Graceful, triple Pre-Mat. This is going to get out of control. So let's get into the card by card. So I have Zephyros in here because we have a lot of things in this deck that mill. We have Card Trooper, we have Raikou, we have some other things I'm forgetting, but in any case, if we get Zephyros milled, anytime we activate Pre-Mat, we can just bounce it back to hand, summon Zephyros, and then Pre-Mat again. So that's just a crazy combo I feel like we have to take advantage of. Blast Sphere is like the most sus include in here. It is a machine for Fortress, but more importantly, it's removal and it does damage to Robert's life points. I'm playing a very aggressive deck. The main reason I want this in here, I don't think this card's very good, but I like it because as soon as this gets flipped up, Robert's going to be very scared to attack my sets knowing I'm on this. And then game 2 and 3, I'm probably going to side this out knowing that he knows I have this and then play something that's probably better, that we have that psychological warfare going on. So that's why this is here. Card Trooper is just amazing. It goes to 1900. It gets us a card. Just the best thing we could ask for. Maybe this is the best thing we could ask for, which is Cyber Dragon. Only one of it, man, if we would have had 3 of this, that would have been crazy. I apologize. I just smacked my ring onto my desk. Then we have a Demock. So again, we have a lot of things that mill in this deck. And so with Demock, if we get this in the grave, we can bring it back with Pre-Mat, get something back with the Demock like Graceful Charity or another Pre-Mat if we already have a copy in there, and literally just infinitely loop this, which is just absurd. So I'm hoping that we get to show that off. Dekoichi's in here to draw us cards. Doom Caliber Knight is nice. It's 1900. Simplified game states, this card is a house, but it's also good because it just negates effects. And there's not a ton of things that really do that. So I like having this in here for those reasons. Droroid's great for dealing with defenders. It doesn't negate effects, but it gets through walls that might be annoying for us to deal with. If Robert's not playing anything that this is like super strong against, we might side this out. Machina Fortress, because we're on like 11 machine monsters, so this is super easy to summon once, and probably only once. If we draw into like 2 4s, we could summon this back again, but I think more likely we're going to summon this once and probably never use it again. Night Assailant's great because it's removal, and if we pitch it with Graceful Charity, we get to get a flip effect monster back from our graveyard, which is crazy. So we can get back a Raikou, we can get back to Koichi. There's just some neat stuff we could do with that, so we actually get even more value off the Graceful. Triple Ryza, this is like one of the best things we could have opened. We're playing the Treeborn for this. We have like Soul Exchange in here. We have 3 Pre-Mats and a Call of the Haunted, so there's a lot of shenanigans we can do with Ryza, and this is just going to be one of the most dominant cards we have. Raikou's removal, it also puts cards into the graveyard, so pretty much synergizes with our deck's trying to do. Trag is in here because Trag is just like a very annoying card to deal with, so I like having this. Treeborn Frog is in here. We're playing 4 tribute monsters. Let's be honest, it's 3 because like Demock is, we're going to try to resurrect, and Machina Fortress, we're going to use its effect. So Treeborn Frog is nice because it's just something we can pitch for like Graceful and get into the grave with like Raikou or something. But also, if we just keep drawing Ryzas and we don't have back row, Treeborn's just going to be free fodder for that. So I feel like there's no reason not to play this. And then Witch can search like 90% of our deck, so that's pretty great. Spells, double Graceful Charity. This is broken. Heavy, I was going to say Heavy Storm, but this is a Harpy Feather Duster and Heavy Storm, so back row is just never going to be an issue. Duality's in here. We do a decent amount of special summoning, but like depending on the circumstances, we may may want to filter for a specific card, and we can afford to wait a turn sometimes. So I think this is fine. Triple pre-mat is absolutely broken. Soul Exchange is great, and then the traps we have Call the Haunted, which is our 4th premature burial, effectively, which is nuts. Compulsory evacuation device is removal. Magic Cylinder isn't removal, but it's damage, and so since we're playing a very aggressive style deck, I like having this in here. Ring just does it all. It's removal and it's life point destruction, and Solemn Judgment is just basically so we can clear the way to win at all points in the game, and Torrential, in case we start falling behind, is a great way to reset the board. The extra kind of sucks because like Adrius and Tyrus are in here, but we don't really have any 5 synergy. I actually don't think, aside from Cyber Dragon, I'm playing a single 5 in this list. There could be a world where we copy something like with Trag maybe, but like I don't think that's very likely to happen. I did pull a copy of the Tricky, but like I'm not going to play Tricky just so I hope to draw it with Sidra and go into one of these. These are good cards, but I don't think it's really worth it. Leviathan actually could come up because Card Trooper's a 3, Night Assailant's a 3. Obviously, these have to like live for that to happen, and we have like pre-mat and Call the Haunted and stuff too, so it's not impossible. And Zen Maester is probably the most likely to come up because it's also just big. It's 2,500, and we have the most level 4s out of anything else in our deck. And then for the side is to adapt to what Robert's deck is doing, because with this type of set with so many different cards, it's really hard to know for sure. So we have just some big beaters essentially in case like our deck is a little bit puny, because it is on the smaller side because we're playing a lot of the machine cards. So we have an Ape Fighter, a Blizzard Dragon, and an Xarian just to have some more muscle in the deck. We have 2 Grave Squirmers in case we need any more removal. It has to die by battle, but that's pretty likely to happen in Sealed. We have Green Kappa for more spell and trap removal. Honestly, between Harpies and Heavy Storm, as well as 2 Solemn Judgment, I think we're good, but just in case, this is here for that. Morphing Jar is nice because if we get into a point where we're falling behind, we could like Witch Search for Jar and then just draw a whole new hand. So like it could come up. It's not unrealistic, but I don't really feel like I had to main deck this card. Then for spells, we have some removal in the form of Dark World Shackles, Ego Boost, and Offerings to the Doom. And the traps, same thing. It's Dark Bribe, Divine Wrath, Fiendish Chain, Pride for War, and Skill Successor. The idea with Sealed is that a lot of the cards revolve around combat, so if you can stop your opponent from having monsters on the field, it effectively blanks a lot of the cards that they have. Every card, not every card down here, but like Skill Successor, Pride for War, Ego Boost, Dark World Shackle, like all this shit requires your opponent to have a monster. But if I'm like Ryza bouncing the monster, if I'm Compulse bouncing the monster, if I'm Soul Exchanging away the monster, then like these cards don't do anything. So the idea is that if I can keep Robert off of monsters, it's going to blank his other back row, and then we're just going to win this pretty easily. So I can't wait to see what he built. I think the fun of this set is that because it's so big, his deck could look completely different from mine, or it could be just as crazy, if not crazier. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Oh boy, Robert, you and I have been waiting. This may have been like the set that inspired us to do this show, just because you and I love doing Sealed so much. And this has got to be like one of, if not the best sets that we could possibly open. So how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I like my deck. I think it's a fun one. I think I am going to get absolutely ass blasted because you've informed me that your protagonist powers have kicked in. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that.
Just a bit. I'm curious, like, I need to know what the, like, bar is here. Like, where is the bell curve in terms of, like, where an average pull is for this episode versus, like, the absolute extreme. And so, you'll see by the end of it what we're working with. You'll see. Let's shout the patron. 5, 4, 3, 2, work. Thank you for the support. And I had the dice this time, so let's see if we can...
Okay.
Can I outsmart the dice? The die needs to get recalibrate.
Oh, okay. We're on the same page.
We're recalibrating.
Yes!
No!
I have outsmarted the machines.
You have.
I am going first this episode.
Yeah, of course you are. Very funny you said that, by the way. And best of luck, buddy. Let's see what you got.
All right. Draw for turn. Well, I got a pretty decent card to start off, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty good one. Let's see what we draw into. Okay, that's like an okay opener. I've had worse. Let's normal summon out a Luster Dragon.
Okay.
And then I will, let's set a back row and pass the turn.
Okay, nice and simple Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what I like. Yep. Let's go to main phase 1, and how do I want to play this is the question. I kind of like this. I'm going to set a pair. Your Luster Dragon's a little bit big for me, so I'll just pass.
Okay, it's a pretty good opportunity for me. There's a good chance that what you're sitting on is just like a snowman eater, in which case I get wrecked one way or the other. It could also be a a white goat.
The problem is there's so many cards in this set, it's really hard to play around everything.
Yeah, I feel like the white goat doesn't seem like an Cimoooooooo card in this moment. So the chances that that's a snowman eater are pretty high, but I think I am going to take that chance anyway. I'm going to activate Fighting Spirit and equip it with my Luster Dragon.
Sure.
Let's go to battle and see if we can swing over.
Does this seem like an Cimoooooooo card? Robert, Blast Sphere!
Ooh, that is a less than ideal one. When does this do its due?
It is during your next standby phase.
Okay, that is a-okay.
Yep, so I will put him in my spell and trap zone.
Yep, that will do it. Main phase 2.
Thank you for the nice 2-for-1, buddy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, that's, to be fair, it's not a 2-for-1 yet. We'll see.
We will see. I am going to, honestly, I'll let you go.
I will draw. That's not a bad one. Standby main. So Blast Sphere detonates, Luster Dragon will die. I'm kind of chilling. I'm just gonna set one and I'll let Blast Sphere do its thing.
What is with all of these set cards? Draw for turn.
Standby phase. The Blast Sphere shall detonate.
Is there anything I can do about this? I honestly like my monsters during the draw phase. I'm actually going to book my Luster Dragon. This is still a 2-for-1, but I keep a guy, and I think tempo is the most important thing in this set.
Yeah, this is fine. All right.
Okay.
All right. So he'll get set.
Yep.
Blast Sphere falls off because it's no longer equipped. So does Fighting Spirit, and you get to keep Luster Dragon.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, I'll just flip him back face up.
Sure.
Now that's the Snowman Eater. But honestly, if this Luster Dragon clears both a Blast Sphere and a Snowman Eater, I'm probably pretty okay with that. Yeah, let's go to battle phase. I'll swing in.
It is Dekoichi. I'll take a draw.
Drawing a card. Okay. Probably could have taken that opportunity to get a little bit more aggressive. I'll just set a back row and pass the turn.
Okay. We'll draw. Stand by main. I'm having so much fun that I will set another one.
Why are you doing this to me, Alex?
What do you mean? I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'll try for a little bit more regression. I don't like this card on this board state, but, you know, a 1600 dude is still a dude. Go to battle phase. Let's just see if we can get over it with Luster Dragon.
It is Raiko.
Okay.
What am I gonna pop here?
I mean, this Luster Dragon has been giving you some problems.
I actually will take out the Luster, funny enough. And then I'll mill 3. Oh, you didn't see anything.
That is a whole Zephyros. Okay, all right. Well, I'll get in for the 16, sure.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. And I'm gonna pass on what I got.
Okay. We'll draw. That's a pretty good one. All right, now I have to worry about all the nonsense you have in your back row. I can deal with Bazoo pretty easily, so let's see how this goes. I'm going to run out a Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragon is A-okay.
Then let us go for a Card Trooper.
Card Trooper is also A-okay.
Let's try for the effect.
That is going to be fine.
Okay, there they go. Let's go battle.
Okay.
Card Trooper in.
I'll Windstorm.
Puts them all to the defensive position.
That is correct.
How much do I care about this? You've got one dude engraved because the only thing I've killed is your Luster.
Oh, I know what you have face down. Oh, that's a problem.
You don't know what I have, buddy.
It is one of 2 cards that you have considered responding to Windstorm of Ataqua with and Book of Moon with.
Don't worry about it, buddy. I could also just be sandbagging, like you said.
You could be.
We'll throw him to defense. That's fine.
Works for me.
And I will pass. Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, that is a solid draw off the top. I will happily take the normal summon of a Slate Warrior here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Let's go to battle phase.
Sure.
I'll start by attacking with Slate Warrior into Sidra.
It's down.
And then I'll attack with Bazoo into Card Trooper.
I'll draw a card.
Main phase 2. I honestly like my field. I will stick with what I got. It's your go.
Okay, I'll draw. Ho, 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 ho! Now it's time for Cimo to draw cards.
Boy. All right, here it goes.
Oh, it's gonna get a lot worse.
I'm sure it will.
Oh my god, this is gross.
Like a ticking time bomb.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Oh, I gotta think now. This is gonna be rough. All right, tell you what. I'm gonna get rid of a Doom Cow.
Concerning.
And I'm gonna get rid of a little card known as Dark Magician of Chaos.
Oh, I feel a pre-mat in my future.
There might be one, but first we're gonna Harpy's Feather Duster.
Sure, yeah. I love that Harpy's Feather Duster. If that had to be your Harpy's Feather Duster, I will happily take it.
All right, he's coming back. You know what's going on. Let's trigger him.
That's fine.
I will... What am I the most concerned with, in all honesty? I'll take the Duster back.
Okay.
Zephyros.
Oh, God. I forgot about the Zephyros engraved. This is disgusting.
This is fucking disgusting. Let's go again.
Okay, yep.
Slate's only the monster that destroyed
That
it.
is
That's
correct.
Convenient for me.
It works out pretty nicely for you.
We've got that covered, so that's pretty good. Let's get Ryza.
He's a dude.
Lord and Savior is here.
That's him.
Normal summon. What am I afraid of at this point? Like anything? Yeah, not really. We'll bring out a Card Trooper. We haven't even normaled
Card
yet,
Trooper's
which is
a
insane.
pretty solid card.
Let's mill a few more.
Yep.
Cool. Battle.
All right.
Let's go Ryza into the Slate Warrior.
Interesting choice. Okay, I will take... Is this all cards or just destroyed by DMOC?
Just whatever destroys him.
No, I'm reading DMOC.
Oh, DMOC. Sorry. No, DMOC is only whatever he
destroys a
kills.
monster by battle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll take 500, and Ryza will lose 500.
Yep. If it had to go to the graveyard for that effect, I would have DMOC'd over it.
Yeah.
But we'll DMOC over Bazoo. I think Bazoo's a bit more
take
threatening.
The 13 here.
12.
12. I know how to do math, yeah.
16.
I'll take 16.
19.
I'll take 19. And this seems like as good a time as any.
Judgment.
That is a monster effect, sir.
This monster would be summoned.
By a card effect that only works on inherent special summons.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
That's okay. I already knew you had that card. It's not like
I figured you had it figured out.
You projected it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of annoying then. Second main, I got to deal with Gores. At least it's good to know that you have that in game 1. I will throw one down.
Okay.
And I'm not feeling as good about my position, but I'm still feeling pretty good about my position, so I'll throw it back.
Okay. Let's draw for turn. That's a solid one off the top. Okay.
There's actually a way I could have played around the Gores I'm a bit frustrated about, but I'll let you know after.
Can I win the game this turn?
Whoa, okay.
Potentially, yeah. There's actually
Yeah,
a
potentially.
world for it. Let me see what the plan is here. Bazoo is banished. I need
Yes, Bazoo is
to
banished.
see if I can find the sliver on my graveyard menu. Nope, that's not it.
If you'd like, I can help you out there,
Okay,
buddy.
thank
There
you.
go.
Whatever the game plan is, I think it starts with a Breaker the Magical Warrior.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Is the summon okay?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a world where the move is to just break the pre-mat to take out DMOC. That removes it.
DMOC's not affected by pre-mat Ryzos, because I bounced the Zephyros.
Oh, you did. Good point. Thank you. I forgot about the goddamn Zephyros. Oh, that play was nasty. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't really change my move much. I think the plan here is that we break the new back row. A second Solemn Judgment. Phenomenal. Very glad.
What do you
to see
mean,
it.
Robert? This is the first solemn judgment.
True, you've got me there. Okay, so the good news is I've got guys on the board, and I think that that's pretty good news, honestly. Let's put our dudes forward.
Sure.
Going to
So
go,
the token's 19, right?
The token is 19. Yep.
Okay. I'll just mark that in the chat so we remember and proceed to battle.
Okay. Yeah. So we are going to go battle
Yep.
Gores over Ryza.
So I take 8 here.
Yep.
Oops, wrong way. I will take 16 because I
Okay.
accidentally added that. So this goes and pre-mat goes.
And token over Zephyros.
And that is 300.
Yes. And then Breaker over Card Trooper.
I'll take 12 and I'll draw a card.
Yes. Main phase 2, I will set a back row past the turn.
All right. We'll draw. Stand by main. Now, can I kill you is the question. I think so. I need to check my math. We go that. Yeah, you're dead. Okay, Duster.
Evac on DMOC.
This, I have to judgment.
Yeah, I had the feeling. Let's see what you got.
Okay. We will pre-mat,
Okay.
bring back literally anything. I guess it could matter potentially what I bring back. So I will resurrect. Yeah, we'll get Ryza.
Okay.
It shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
It is not a surprise at all.
Then we will sack Ryza for Ryza.
Ooh, that is rough for me. Okay.
Thinking on the spin back here. It's weird because, like, Gores, I don't like you having it because I can't lethal you, although, like, DMOC is lethal. Assuming I can, like, clear your board, right? Breaker just doesn't do anything on the current board. So, like, if I give that back to you, like, that's not really the end of the world, but it's also just, like, a thing you can play. So the question is, am I confident enough that I can just, like, kill through a Gores? And I am going to try and say yes. So I am going to spin back the Gores.
Okay, to the top of my deck with Gores.
Let's clean up. So this is 8 and then 9.
Okay.
They both go. You're drawing into Gores. That's all I got. Go ahead.
Okay, draw for turn. I wonder what that could be.
Could be anything. Could be anything. Man has a pre-mat. I could not keep you off of this.
800. Now, if I had done that last turn, I could have gone for Utopia, which I think still loses to Ryza, but that's...
Thanks for letting me know you have Utopia.
Yeah,
That's
you're
pretty good.
welcome. It's not like it's like basically a common in this set or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are going to go for Slate Warrior.
Sure.
I'll set a back row. Your go.
It's the Slate Warrior that could.
It
I'll
really
try.
is the Slate Warrior that could.
Okay, so I know you've got Gores. We're both on a incredibly minuscule amount of life points. So now the question becomes, what is that card? You had that in your hand previously. I Feather Dustered you last turn, so you probably, if it was something that was real, there is a possibility that you just set something to bait out the Duster, so that way it is a real card. Part I hate about this is that I'm on 250. If I had like 4,000 life points, I wouldn't even really be thinking about sending my monsters in right now. But 250 and all the combat tricks in this set kind of scare me.
is really a game state.
It's iffy. It's iffy. The nice thing is you being on such a low life total and DMOC having 900 attack over your Slate Warrior actually blanks a significant amount of the like combat tricks. Not all of them, but most of them. I think I probably just have to go for it. It's lethal on board, so I'll try
Yeah,
it.
you got it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Had to make you sweat for it.
I so fucked that up anyway. I shouldn't have summoned the Card Trooper when I had the Judgments. That was my misplay. That was bad.
Well, that was frustrating. I feel like I was in a generally good position, and I feel like I played pretty well, but in the face of that turn that you had, I don't think there was anything I could have done. I'm gonna try going first again and hope that it's enough.
I almost threw, too. Like, I shouldn't have played Card Trooper when I was on such low life, because since I had that and then you dropped Gores, if I used the Judgment, I just lost the game because Gores just attacked the Trooper and it's game over. So I should have played something else. But let's see what you got.
Let's see. This is a hilarious opener. Yeah, let's open with Graceful Charity.
All right, sure.
I'll draw 1, 2, 3. Interesting draws, to say the least. I think I am going to discard a copy of Ryza the Storm Monarch.
Got it himself.
And a copy of Fighting Spirit.
Okay.
Then I'm just going to normal summon a Zombira the Dark, Old Faithful.
Not bad.
Set a back row and pass the turn to you.
All right, let's go to main phase 1. You had Graceful, so do I.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. It's not bad. Not my favorite, though, I'll be honest. Zombira is a bit big. He can't attack me directly, though, which is, like, the worst part of him.
He's kind of the insurance policy of normal summonable monsters.
I would agree. Let's ditch a Doom Cow
Okay.
and a Dekoichi.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Over to you.
Setting to back row. Okay. Well, I mean, this is a pretty good time. Zombira may be the insurance policy of monsters, but there's one monster that insurance policy lets us get through, which is Caius the Shadow Monarch. We'll declare targeting your face down.
There he is. Thinking. This is what they call not good, folks. Not good.
So they say.
I'm going to Judgment this.
Ooh, that's a pretty big judgment there. If I just go like hyper aggro here.
We like hyper aggro.
I kind of want to. I'm thinking there's a good chance that's a Blast Sphere you have face down, but there's also a good chance it's a Dekoichi. Let's go MST targeting your second back row.
Sure. It was a Compulse.
Okay. All right. I am going to pre-map. I'll target, let's target Ryza.
Sure.
Since he doesn't damage me if you get a Caius of your own.
It's good you had that MST.
Their powers combined. Sure, I'll take it. All right.
He's here.
Let's get him in.
You're correct. It was Dekoichi. I'll draw.
Okay. All right. I'll pass turn on that.
Sure. I'll draw. Stand by main. You've got 2 in hand. What's heavy? Seems like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice 3
You
for
also
1.
got heavy alongside. Oh my god, you
I'm
were
just
not
too
kidding
good.
around.
I'm just too good, buddy. We'll Card
Trooper's
Trooper.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
we'll
fine
mill
with
3.
that.
All right.
Oh, good to see that too.
Yeah.
fight my way
You're
to
just
game
seeing
3.
all the fun cards I have access to.
I really
aren't you?
am.
Yeah. All right. 2 in hand still. This is risky, but I think I'll go for it. I'll pre-mat.
Ooh, that's a big pre-mat.
Yeah.
What are we targeting?
Doom Cow.
You cannot special summon Doom Cow.
Oh, you can't. Never mind then. I knew this card had to be balanced somehow. Could just go for another Card Trooper. That'd be funny.
It would be funny.
In fact, you've got Gores. I got to think about that. The back of my head. It's scary. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go for another Card Trooper.
Okay.
I'll mill 3.
Woo! Okay.
1919.
Yeah, I'll take 38.
Okay. Second main, I'll throw 1 down. Over to you.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful to see now. That's a great card for me to see under these circumstances. Pass turn.
Oh!
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's
not ideal.
sussy, though. Fucking Gores. Fucking Gores. God damn it, dude. Okay, well, I mean, we're gonna fire one of them.
Okay.
Okay, we're just losing
Oh
everything
yeah,
here.
we'll love. Oh, a Call of the Haunted too. Wonderful, great.
Okay, so if you have Gores, this is the one I used it on, the non-pre-matted one.
Okay.
So if you have Gores, what happens? You take 19, you go down to 15, you drop Gores, get token plus Gores, which I have to figure out how to deal with. I guess that's not like the end of the world. Conversely, if you have nothing, I just win the game. So there's that. YOLO. Let's go for it.
Okay.
I feel like I don't have much of a choice.
Oh, God, Magic Cylinder, too.
Let's try it.
Well, we have the Battle Fader. Lovely for that to
Okay.
show up after I discarded my Monarchs.
Okay.
But, you know.
It does buy you time, at the very least. It does buy you time.
It does.
Second main, I think we're going to go set 1 and chuck it back.
Okay, draw for turn. Show me something decent. That is something decent. Let's normal summon ourselves a Slate Warrior.
2 in hand. You didn't do anything last turn?
That is correct.
Fuck it.
We are Solemn Judgmenting.
Yeah.
That puts you to
16.
16 on Card Trooper. Oh, I have a really bad move I can make here.
Can you kill me?
Unfortunately, not quite. It is hilariously, comically close to killing you.
Just
but
pre-mat
it
the
is not
Slate
quite
Warrior?
killing you.
Oh, no, you would pre-mat, you would just do that, so that's not it.
I think I have to equip my battle.
Yeah, sure.
Set pass.
Okay. So it basically just lives once. Yeah, okay. That's
Yes.
funny. It's a 900 attack Battle Fader, which is quite funny.
It is a 900 attack battle
Yeah,
fader.
I'll draw. All right. That's pretty good. Can we clean it up? Is the question. What do we lose to here?
Venture that the answer is probably very little.
I need to make sure that I do this properly, though. I'll sack Grave Squirmer for Ryza.
Yeah, you got it.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my
Whew.
God. Jeez, there was genuinely nothing I could have done in the face of this. I suppose I could have seen into the future and seen that I was going to top deck a Battle Fader, but given that you also had a Ryza, that would have lost too.
Yeah.
So
I quickly do another one?
Does. Yeah, actually, I've gotten close enough each time.
Yeah.
I want to try for the game.
I think you've gotten close enough just by consequence of I will pick Rock. I think you've gotten close enough because I keep Solemn Judgmenting so many things.
Actually, honestly, Solemn Judgment has been saving you so many games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So while your life points have looked lower for your having Solemn Judgment, you've also been in a better position for it. Oh, that's a pretty decent hand.
I'm just going to play fast and loose this game.
Okay, so will I. Your go.
Don't do this to me. Why do you do this? All right. Main one. Let's go the good old classic T set. And over to you.
For a T set. Okay. Draw for turn. I haven't seen anything yet that threatens me from defense position. Let's go for a good old-fashioned Breaker the Magical Warrior.
Fuck it.
There it goes.
I'm gonna lose
Okay.
it anyway. I may as well take the breaker out with it.
Let's see. You probably wouldn't have done that if that was Blast Sphere. So I think that's Dekoichi. I'm gonna go for Cyber Dragon.
Sure.
Battle phase.
Yep.
It's attack.
You're right. I'll draw.
Okay. Honestly, it's your go.
Draw. Special Fortress, Pitch Blast Sphere.
It's a pretty good card.
And as much as I want to keep going in, the problem is fucking Gores. I mean, could just be mind gaming me. I'll fucking go Trooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kingdom for a Chimera Tech.
4 and 19.
It's not Gores, idiot. Trigodia
okay.
on the 400.
That's pretty good. All right, so he's 24.
Yep.
Can't do anything about that. Second main, I will just pass. Go ahead.
Passing. Draw for turn. Society, if I could steal your fortress right now. Yeah, let's just clear the fortress.
Okay, so I take 5. And then Fortress Effect, Pop Trag.
Yep. Main phase 2, I will normal summon a monster, set a back row, and pass it to you.
We'll draw. Duality.
Duality's pretty good. It's a lot of cards I don't like to see. God, Fortress is actually ridiculous in this set. There are a lot of good machine cards, especially that specifically you got.
You may have noticed that there's a theme with my deck.
Yes, indeed.
Let's take Raikou.
Okay.
Sack for Ryza.
Ew.
Spin the Mad Dog.
Okay, well, that's something.
24.
I'll take 24.
I'll pass.
Okay. Draw for turn. Behold. Mad Dog is up.
He's back.
He is. I will set a back row. Your go.
Okay. We'll draw. Conspicuously just summoned him. I don't know where that could be.
No need to concern yourself with that.
Yeah, I'll set and pass. Go ahead.
Interesting choices. Draw for turn. Over under that's a fucking Raikou that you have face down. Pretty
be anything.
high. Okay, this is a weird move, but I think it might be a correct move.
Okay.
Let's do this now. I am going to go to battle phase.
Sure.
I am going to attack into Ryza.
You may enter the
I
damage
imagine
step.
you do not have a response before damage steps. So
Yes.
I am going to Prideful Roar.
Yeah, I figured this was here. Okay. So you're going to pay...
I pay 500 here.
and you gain 3.
And then, yeah. So you take 300.
Yep. So I didn't bother attacking.
Main phase 2, I am going to set a back row. I'll pass turn.
Yep. I'll draw.
During the standby phase, I'm actually going to compulse your set monster.
Interesting. Main 1. I'm going to pitch Blast Sphere and Drillroid for Fortress.
Okay. It's pretty solid.
Let's try for it.
I am going to Kunai with Chain. So I'll shift Fortress to defense and give Mad Dog some attack.
Okay. Second main, I'll set one. Go ahead.
Okay. Draw for turn. That's an okay card.
That's pretty good.
Draw 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Okay, what's the plan here? So we're definitely keeping that card. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to discard Fighting Spirit, and I am going to discard Luster Dragon. I'm going to Soul Exchange.
Targeting.
I will tribute your face down monster.
Sure.
Okay. And we're going to normal summon Caius.
Okay.
And before I do that, I'm going to set MST because I know what Fortress's effect is. And you don't know about that card that I just set because I never reveal my strategies.
Never.
Here we go.
Never. All right, I'll draw.
This is what I get for commentating all of my Edison duels.
Yeah. Now we're in a bit of trouble. I'll set and pass.
Draw for turn. Okay, what are the chances that that's actually a second Raikou? I honestly think the chances are pretty low that that's a second Raikou. Let's go pre-map. I'll take 8. I guess we'll summon Sidra.
Sounds good.
Let's go to battle. I'll attack with Caius.
Yep, Treeborn, you got it.
All right. Well, I got a game.
You
that
did.
worked out.
You did. I could have done some things a little bit differently, but it's fine. It's fine. You did get your game. And, yeah, so, like, your deck isn't that bad. Like, you were saying, like, it's kind of mid. I don't know. Your deck seemed fine to me.
I liked my deck building. I'll say that. My tools that I got were pretty good, but I think that I'm really happy with the job I did building around them. Let's just...
Can't talk and mill at the same time. Too focused.
Yeah. Also just looks nicer on camera. Yeah, so the game plan was I have a lot of cards that are really, really good at holding board presence. Between the Monarchs, things like Slate Warrior, Fighting Spirit, and my 3 copies of Prideful Roar. I figured as long as I could maintain a monster, I had control over the game. Obviously, the things that like you could have had that were going to mess me up, I couldn't do anything about because I have nothing that can deal with spell cards, right?
Sure.
I have one MST to deal with pre-mat, and beyond that, I don't really have much to work with. And so the game plan was like, yeah, I could go full offensive. Even if you had something like Duster or Heavy, there was a chance that I could use Trag or Gores to turn the game around.
Sure. And Gores is a big pull in that regard. So
yeah, Gores was a huge pull in that regard. So that was the game plan. I just stuffed it full of guys that I knew could stick to the board, and gave myself rewards for sticking them.
yeah, and you had stuff that I didn't. You had Pot, you had Snatch, you had multiple Sidras. I only had one, unfortunately. You had Caius. I didn't pull a single one, but I pulled 3 Ryza, which is like effectively the same thing in this case.
Yeah, I was really happy about the Caius until I realized that Ryza is a common and is basically Caius.
Yeah.
Potentially even better depending on the circumstance.
On the circumstance, yeah. Because at that point, it's like banishing versus spinning, which spinning is really highly valued in a lot of cases, so it's kind of hard to say for certain. But I actually didn't get MST now, I think, but I got Heavy and Harpy, so I mean, I was covered in
I
that
don't
department.
think you have much room to complain.
I
on
don't.
that
Not
front.
at all. Not at all. So it's funny because like you basically played this how I think anyone would play, in the sense that, like you said, if you can stick dudes, keep your board presence, you're going to be in a favorable position, right? And so from playing this set pretty frequently, I know that that's like the game plan. And so my game plan is to try to keep you off dudes on the field, because effectively, I'm looking at your deck. If I can keep you off of dudes, that blanks what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish cards. Almost a fifth of your deck gets blanked if you don't have a monster on the field. And so just trying to be really aggressive and like keep you off of monsters was like sort of where my head was at. But I also played a lot of like weird fun stuff just because like I had like the Machina Fortress, so I like tried to play a machine emphasis on my deck. I really like stuff like Card Trooper and Dekoichi because even though Card Trooper goes back to like the 400 attack, just cycling cards in this environment is so good, especially since I have so many blowout cards. The triple pre-map plus like the Zephyros is an insane combo that my deck has access to.
Triple pre-map.
I had triple pre-map and Call of the Haunted. Yeah. You saw them all in game 1. You just didn't realize, and I didn't say anything. So like there are some like questionable choices in here, like Droid's a bit of a weird one. Blastsphere I only played game 1 and then specifically cited it out because I figured once you saw it, then you would be like cognizant of it, and then I just wanted to play something in its place. So I played more removal that just wasn't Blastsphere after that. But Doomcow is also a bit of a sussy one paired with like DMOC. That was an issue I kept running into where it's like I can't play Doomcow because then DMOC will trigger and then they'll both banish each other basically.
Yep.
So I'm like, that's a bit bad. But yeah, I mean overall, like I thought my deck was really sick.
Yeah, and you could afford to play some of those negative tempo cards, which turned out to be a really sick strategy.
Yeah, I wish I had like 1 or 2 more fortresses just because I feel like then I would have had a lot of pressure and like value with the machines. But I had in the sideboard a bunch of like heavy hitters like Ape Fighter and like Exarian and things like that just to bring in over like the dinky dudes just to be able to go more toe-to-toe in combat with you. I think in the second game, I actually brought in like Grave Squirmers just because I saw that you were playing like the Fighting Spirits, the Kunai with Chain and the like. And so I figured just more targeted removal just for your monsters just seemed like perfect.
Yeah, makes sense. I actually took out in game 2, I took out a lot of the cards that depend on monsters for things like Offerings to the Doom, which I could chain to Feather Duster.
Yep. Good call. I think that's actually the correct way to play it. God, this set rocks.
This was a heck of a set. I love this set.
This set's amazing. Yeah, I could just do what we just did all day.
For sure.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all of their continued support. So shout out to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, Moto, MBT Playing the Dolce, Cameron Smith, Pony Stark, Part 2, The Synchro Guide, Dan Manhoben, Phoenix the Immortal, Dixon Yamada, Draconic, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, Valen Jackson, Little Fadeleaf, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Hornet, Imuna Taisho, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Max, Matthew Brady, Twinkle Muncher, Dalton, Luabon, Yodabon. I've tried reading cards before, it was horrible and my guinea pigs had to give me therapy, Helios515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, Cheeks McLafferty, Stolfin Amethyst, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnels, Wonder Waffle, MVT cancelled by all community soon, cancelled by all committee soon, cancelled by all players soon, Sakura-san, Shrugzix, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Corvain, and True Dragon Gaming. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.